Please, oh please, give me the port. So that I can go back and get my, whatchamacallit. Guys, did you see in Time Stranger that you can ride Arukenimon? What a fantastic decision to let you ride Arukenimon of all Digimon. Wild stuff happening in the Digimon world. What's your favorite childhood game? Favorite game from when I was a child. Probably Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. It's the game I can remember playing at my youngest that I really, really loved. Grand Quagamon. Wait, no, you're weak to light. Can't help but notice that you guys are doing a lot of not dying. Mine is the Ben 10 Omniverse game. An Omniverse game? When you were a child? Rugby, how old are you? Like 8? Omniverse in your childhood? Bro was born in like... He was born in like 2014. That's crazy. Starlight EX! Oh my goodness, you actually crit the right one. Wait a minute, what? Rugby is this mini, holds up fingers. No, Magna Angemon. Just become Goldramon already. What did you learn? Terra Blaster. 8149 2 slot? Yeah, it's better than Mighty Thunderclaw. Billy and Mandy had a fighting game, and I thought it was the greatest childhood game I had. That's hilarious. Why did the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy have a fighting game, bro? What do they think they are, an anime? Listen, it was my first 360 game I bought with my own money. Listen, I wasn't saying that the game choice was bad. I was just pointing out that you're young. I didn't say anything about the game itself, although Omniverse sucks, but just... I didn't realize you were so young. I say with you being like 6 years younger than me. I'd rather be young than old. Youth is wasted on the young for reasons like this. My childhood game was Digimon World Championship. I'm sorry that happened to you. You have my deepest sympathy. Gotta be 49. Alright, got a ways to go still. None of y'all are ready for Digivolution. Where the heck is the port? Please be the key for the port. Thank you. Mine was Nights into Dreams? I've never heard of it. Never heard of that one. Wisemon, are you aware that you're not supposed to, like, stand on books? I understand that you're floating, but still, it's probably not good for the book. It's either Omniverse or the first Bakugan game. Now, see, that's a way better pick. The first Bakugan game goes hard. I really wish I could play it on the channel, but this dang chatter that I signed a contract with, he keeps bringing it up and pushing it back. I've wanted to play that game on the channel for like 3 years, and I just can't. Bam, 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 bam. You made me sign the contract? Well, yeah, but it's still your fault. You're the one who continues to not abide by it properly. Also, there's a Barbamon on my screen? Me making you sign the contract means nothing. What matters is that you continue to mess up based on the contract. Signing the contract wouldn't matter if you were just, I don't know, better. Would you look at the time? It's by whom on a clock. Let's go! It's time to by whom on. Die? My favorite childhood game is Power Rangers SPD. I had a Power Rangers Dino Thunder, like, side-scrolling, almost like arcade game on my Game Boy. I should play that on the channel sometime. I bet that game sucked. I remember you had to, like, mine out the different Zords. And if you didn't mine the Zord out properly, or maybe you had to, like, do a minigame for it, and if you did it wrong, then the White Ranger would take the Zord and use it against you. What? A lady wants to go on a date with me? Is it LadyDevimon? Well, you see, lately strange things have been happening. My stuff has gone missing. I've received blank letters. So because of that, I'd like to hold off on any dating. Please tell her that my reply is no. You're an idiot. We should kill this guy with hammers. What a buffoon. There was a Dino Thunder PS2 game. Chat, what if I just started looking up old Power Ranger games and playing them blind on the channel? It would probably lead to playing a lot, and I do mean a lot, of bad games. But it would probably make for good content. Wolfen, your chat messages are so delayed. I just saw your message about riding Raydramon. If I go to the chat source, I can see it. I can see it sooner. But that involves, like, tabbing out of my streaming software. I don't want to do that. Dress up as my Otismon and go on the date with LadyDevimon herself. Dude, you're so smart. Everyone knows that all good relationships start with pretending to be someone you aren't. That's why every time I go on a date, I pretend to be Michael B. Jordan. That was the only famous person I could think of. I should have said, like, Tom Hiddleston. Digigate port open. No, he's British. That would also be a bad pick. I mean, there's no famous person that I could pull off looking like at all, so. I had a copy of the Madagascar game for the Game Boy SP. It was awful. Oh, dude, the Game Boy versions of those games are always terrible. I feel like the Game Boy ones are always just, like, the way they do those are the worst. They're entirely different games. I now want you to play that Dino Thunder game. I'm back in my Power Rangers era right now. I should get on some Power Rangers playthroughs. We had time to do some Power Rangers content before, we have some time to do some Power Rangers content before Time Stranger drops. I've never seen a game based off an animated movie that's ever been good. Barnyard the video game, brother. Barnyard the video game. One of the best movie games I've ever played. There are some good movie games. SpongeBob SquarePants movie game is pretty good. The Madagascar GameCube game is pretty good. If you play, like, the console version of the first Madagascar game, it's not, like, the greatest game ever. But, it's pretty fun. I'd recommend it. I feel like I know more than that, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. I'd have to go, like, look at a list. I played a lot of movie games growing up. A lot of cartoon games in general. Alright, Armadillomon, go die in a fire. I pretend to be Jackie Chan. I just speak in broken English, but tastefully. But tastefully. that's good. I'm just imagining you being like one of the Family Guy cutaways. One of my favorite games is Tony Hawk's Underground for the PS2. I played the GBA version of it. It felt like a totally different game. Absolutely it is. When they make a Game Boy version, back in the day at least, when they made like handheld versions of the console games they were making, they didn't like, they weren't ports. They were completely different games that just happened to have the same name because they were like developed and released at the same time. I remember that, I think that SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom has a Game Boy version, and the Game Boy version of it is like a completely different game. Or maybe I'm thinking of Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, but there was a couple, at least one, if not multiple SpongeBob games that were like, hey, yeah, there's a Game Boy version, but the Game Boy version is literally just a different video game. Tastefully speaking like Jackie Chan with broken English sounds like an Impractical Jokers challenge. Dude, you're so right. Oh, man, I would watch that. I would watch that Impractical Jokers challenge. I should watch them. I should, like, watch some Impractical Jokers again. I didn't watch it much when it was on the air, but the few episodes I did see were usually pretty funny. Wait, I need to talk to LadyDevimon. Hey, LadyDevimon, I'm sorry, but this Myotismon is a literal idiot. Wait, what? Oh, she said she was going there, didn't she? Okay, I have to look around. I get it, I get it. Bop, 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 bop. Back to the temple. This gives us time to put on our Myotismon outfit. So true. I guess the GBA ports of games just sold because of portability's sake, gaming on the go and such. Well, I imagine that a lot of parents got their kids, like, they would get their kids Game Boys because they were cheaper and they were handheld, which means you could take them around. You wouldn't have to, your kid wouldn't have to, like, use a TV, especially if you only had, like, 1 or 2 TVs in your house at the time. So if you got your kid, like, instead of getting your kid, like, a $300 PlayStation, however much the PlayStation 2 cost back in the, like, early 2000s, instead of getting them that, or getting them an Xbox, you could just, and have them, like, use one of the TVs in your house, you could just get them, like, in, like, an $80, $100 handheld, because the Game Boy Advances weren't that expensive back then either. I don't think they were probably, like, $100 or less. I don't even remember. I feel like when I was buying the Nintendo DS was, like, $120. So a Game Boy Advance must have been like $80 to $100. So probably what happened is that parents would just be like, here, I got you a Game Boy for Christmas. And then the kid would be like, all I have is a Game Boy and I like SpongeBob. So can I have the SpongeBob game for the Game Boy, please? And that's all she wrote. Then you had to deal with your kid turning on the backlight, making you unable to see when you're driving. Okay, first of all, Rugby, you're too young to have this anecdote. Second of all, my dad just wouldn't let me use the Game Boy when he was driving in the dark. And then I would try and use the Game Boy in the dark without the backlight, and it was impossible. I was so glad when the Game Boy SP came out. Stolen Valor! You're too young to know about that anecdote. Sonia! Sonia, I've been looking all over for you. How did it go? Is he head over heels for me? He wants to date right away. Oh my, what am I to do? Of course he said that, right? I mean, that's how this should have played out, let's be honest. What? You're saying I made a fool of myself? Why would you tell it to her like that? Now you've just wasted my time. I'll just go hear it straight from the wonderful man himself. Ruh-roh. Out of my way. play your game every 10 seconds you pass a street light. So true. Sometimes you'd be like on a trip on the highway or something though. Star Starlight EX. Die. Bam, 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 bam. Oh my goodness, we're finally getting Ancient Sphinxmon, chat. We finally made it. Digivolve! It's not a sovereign, but it's something. Isn't there a quest for an Ancient Sphinxmon later in the game? I feel like I remember it. Licensed games being bad, who could guess? Sometimes you get a good licensed game. Not always, but sometimes. Remember the Jackie E. Chan cartoon? Do I remember Jackie Chan Adventures? One of the best cartoons to ever be made? Yeah. Jackie Chan Adventures is fantastic. That cartoon still holds up, by the way. Go watch that cartoon right now. I don't know where it's streaming, but it's probably streaming on some service. But Jackie Chan Adventures is goated with the sauce, as they say. I have a buddy who has a tattoo of all the medallions on his leg. All of the talismans, all 12 of the talismans. That's sick. I'm not a big tattoo guy, but man, the talismans. Great stuff. I love Jackie Chan Adventures, bro. What a great cartoon. Yumo Gui Gui Fighty Sao, Yumo Gui Gui Fighty Sao. Rugby, you should watch Jackie Chan Adventures. It holds up to this day. It's a good cartoon. I think it is very worth watching. Hiya, Jackie! Magic must defeat magic! Ooh, baby. Power dark. It's worse than hunting knife. Bum, 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 bum. All I watched as a kid was Beyblade, Bakugan, and Avatar. You gotta do... Oh, yo, forget LadyDevimon and Lilithmon. You free this weekend? But, you gotta expand your cartoon horizons, brother. You weren't wasting your life as a child in front of a TV nearly enough. Oh, American Dragon Jake Long is a classic. It's not like one of my all-time favorite cartoons, but still a really good cartoon. Would recommend. Deadly Sickle. Get crit, idiot. Bam, 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 da, da, da.